So nationally, healthcare, what's taking place right now? Interesting that McConnell revealed that he's going to release this secretly crafted bill right after the Georgia race results.
I mean, I think it's really important to continue to expose as best we can the stealth, the secrecy that not only pervades the way the Republicans are handling this healthcare bill, but inside Washington generally. Also, rolling back after the cratering of our economy 8-9 years ago, financial deregulations that are going to impact, hurt working people, poor people. But I think they're rushing it, Amy, for a very simple reason. They know how unpopular it is, not just with the American people, but with members of their own constituency, and they're desperately trying to move something before they go back to the, they head into the July 4th recess, because they've seen this anger and passion in this country. And among Trump and the Republicans' own supporters who are going to be disproportionately hurt by a bill which is essentially a scam. I mean, transferring at the heart of it is $1 trillion tax cut for the very richest. I think it's an opening for progressives to fight for Medicare for all. I mean, those who say it's pie in the sky ignore poll after poll, survey after survey who show majority support of Medicare for all. And look at California. I mean, the state Senate has passed it. It's heading to the state assembly. It is doable. We should unleash our imaginations about what is possible in these times.
But they will release this on Thursday. Then the question is, will it be, quote, scored? The Republicans in the House passed this before the scoring. That said 23 million people.
Scoring is supposed to come very quickly after. And how is it going to be? I mean, we're looking at maybe marginal tweaks to that score. I mean, first of all, this affects 1/6 of the economy, this health care bill, and about 140 million people, families. And they're rushing this through in secrecy. That is undemocratic, anti-democratic.
And yet where is, for example, Bernie Sanders' bill on health care, on Medicare for all?
Or John Conyers, who's been a stalwart for years, and those have sponsors. But that doesn't get the attention. And I do think in my column on media malpractice, I think what's happened is there's been so much focus on the scandals, the palace intrigues of the Trump administration, that it's shameful. I believe in the course of 2 days, the major newspapers, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, New York Times, didn't give any front-page coverage to a health care bill that has the ability to reshape this country. So I think we need attention on substantive policy issues and not just a sensationalism that gets ratings for a lot of these.
Well, I mean, the airwaves are filled with something, and I'm not talking about Fox, I'm talking about MSNBC and CNN, and it's the constant Russia drumbeat. And you have to ask, when you're looking at politics in Georgia, when people turn on television and they're talking about the Russia cover-up, how this affects their lives. And your thoughts on this as a Russia expert?
Well, I mean, I think it's just common sense. I mean, one needs to have coverage of the investigation into alleged collusion, the corruption matrix. But, what about what's going on in Flint? What's going on in parts of this country? I think it is obscuring the real-life experience millions of people are living, and it is a hijacking of our airwaves, a dereliction of duty to issues that demand more attention. There's no, give it some coverage. But, Chris Murphy tweeted the day Jeff Sessions testified, give that 10%, 90% people focus on healthcare, media focus on healthcare, focus on the toxic agenda that is being passed without enough attention. I think it's a disservice to this country, and I think it's not only for ratings, but, remember Les Moonves of CBS said at the beginning of the Trump, he said the Trump campaign's great for our ratings, may not be great for America. Jeff Zucker of CNN just recently said same thing. They're also very happy with the other war on the media, Amy, which is the deregulation agenda. The FCC is going to roll back cross-ownership, net neutrality, and I think that, too, is going to strip people of a democratic airwaves, which, as you've said many times, belongs to the people. So
I want to go to your piece in the WashingtonPost.com, where you say 13 male Republican senators have been meeting in private to draft a bill. No one else knows what's in it. There have been no hearings, no public debate. Democrats and the public are completely locked out. So this is Missouri Democratic Senator Claire McCaskill speaking on the Senate floor.
When you say that you're inviting us, and I heard you, Mr. Secretary, just say we'd love your support, for what? We don't even know. We have no idea what's being proposed. There's a group of guys in a back room somewhere. that are making these decisions. There were no hearings in the House. I mean, listen, this is hard to take because I know we made mistakes on the Affordable Health Care Act, Mr. Secretary. And one of the criticisms we got over and over again that the vote was partisan. Well, you couldn't have a more partisan exercise than what you're engaged in right now. We're not even going to have a hearing on a bill that impacts 1/6 of our economy.
That's Missouri Democratic Senator Claire McCaskill.
I mean, that went viral. It's powerful. I mean, it speaks to a basic truth that this country, citizens deserve and demand hearings. But do you remember the rank hypocrisy of Mitch McConnell about the Obamacare ACA process? It was very deliberative. There were many hearings. There was the ability for Republicans to weigh in. Now he's going on about, well, no, this is what happened with Obamacare. BS. But I think it demands massive citizen mobilization, Amy, to demand that there be hearings. And I think because there may be some Republican fall-offs, because of the Medicaid issue primarily, some senators like what's going on in their states. If you can get this to the July 4th recess, your viewers and millions of others should be out there demanding hearings, demanding a slowdown of a process. We've seen this too often, too. I'm reminded of the Patriot Act, which passed in 2 or 3 days, and it later turned out no one had really read it. This is not a functional democracy or representative government.
I mean, as all the emphasis is being put on the Russia investigation, Democrats hoping this could lead to the impeachment of Donald Trump, you have the dismantling of the administrative state right now at every level.
Absolutely. And listen, the focus on Russia, the obsession with Russia, is stymieing this government. I mean, it is creating dysfunction. But at the same time, it is stripping, you don't have the oxygen to give to the attention that this deserves. And I think that should be where we now, witnessing what we're witnessing with the way McConnell and the Republicans are ramming this through, by the way, which is not unusual. We've seen this, remember in North Carolina, the Republicans are pretty brutalist kinds of politicians, and we need to be tough in response. And I think that demands exposure, so that demands a media that pays attention to this predatory, dangerous, toxic politics. And linking it, by the way, to 2018, let me come back to where we began. When we head into 2018, everyone should be talking about what the Republicans did to strip people, working people, Trump supporters, all people, if they get away with it, and fighting for a different kind of set of policies at the state level for now, because the federal's going to be tough.
And finally, what about the battle within the Democratic Party? Which direction to go?
I think it's real. I mean, I think there's some substantive issues, and I am a believer that we need, I think John Ossoff was, it is a tough district, ruby red and all of that, but I think people seek people speaking to their lived experience. What are they going to do on health care? What are they going to do about education in their kids' lives? What are they going to do about a living wage? So I think those, in my view, sometimes aren't, as Reverend Barber, another good reverend, has said, those are not left-right issues. Those are right and wrong issues. And I think there's a way to speak to them.
And do you think the Democratic Party currently is?
I think the Democratic platform, which Bernie Sanders stayed in that race to fight for one of the most progressive Democratic platforms.
That's the platform, but the party, how it is actually...
The party, there is a struggle on, but I think you will see, I believe, candidates running on a more progressive message in 2018 and in 2020, and putting together new coalitions and not pitting white working class versus the rising American majority. There's a working class, and one has to speak to that and bring together new coalitions, as Stacey Abrams is trying to do.
Katrina Vanden Heuvel, thanks so much for being with us, editor and publisher of The Nation, America's oldest weekly magazine. This is Democracy Now! When we come back, the story of a family that is threatened with deportation right here in New York, in Little Pakistan in Brooklyn. Stay with us.